Happy Monday. This is Jasmine, and I'm here with the weekly address to young Americans, where we come together to talk about things that we all care about. This broadcast is sponsored by an organization called U, which stands for Young, Organized, and United. All right, so the name of this show is called For All My Non-Cookers, Let's Start with a Sandwich. And the purpose of this is to just start to talk about how preparing your own food can really have a big impact on your wallet and your health. So I want to begin to kind of explore how we can ease some of our non-cookers out there into beginning to cook for themselves for a long-term benefit, okay? So I want to start the show by defining what is a non-cooker, so you can know out there what category you sit in, okay? So a non-cooker are some of these following things, okay? If you only cook on special occasions, which is never, okay, you're probably a non-cooker, okay? If you warm up frozen meals or buy out 80 to 90% of your meals, you're probably a non-cooker, okay? And then these are the people who kind of slide by. But if you have meals that are prepared, mostly prepared by loved ones, you're 9 times out of 10 a non-cooker. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some of those definitions straight so then we know where we are, right? Now, the important thing is to know that this show is not meant to make fun of you. It is meant to support you, okay? What I want to do today is talk about some ways that you can consider beginning to cook for yourself in your kitchen, because it has not only a great impact on your wallet, but also on your health. Okay, so let's start with the wallet part, okay? So let's do the big thing, the big picture, which is everybody wants to save, okay? Even rich people want to save money, okay? So this is something that is relevant to all of us. Now, the thing is that I want to begin to think about, if you are someone who buys out a lot, I want to begin to think about what actually makes sense with those expenses, okay? So here in Washington, D.C., I'm going to paint a picture for you. If we eat out pretty much lunch and dinner 7 days a week, it's probably going to cost us upwards of $150 to $200. And that's not even including like brunch or anything like that. It is on a higher end, but that's about typical depending on if you're having the $8 to $10 meal, okay? Now, if you were to translate those meals into buying them from the grocery store, your max tab would probably be about $100, and that's on the high end. That just depends on, like, if you have maybe a larger appetite or an expensive taste buds. If you go over $100 at the grocery store, I don't know what you are buying, okay? But no worries, but just know that you can save a whole lot by going to the grocery store and preparing your own meals. Now, I know a lot of us out there have issues with time and knowing what to buy, right? So I want to talk about time, and then I'm going to try and help you about what you can think about to use as a resource for recipes to try if you don't really know a whole lot right off the top of your head. So as for time, there are 2 ways that can make you save a lot of time with grocery shopping and with preparing your meals. With grocery shopping, the best thing you can do for yourself is make a grocery list. I know that sounds like some old-fashioned, like duh Jasmine type advice, but a lot of people go into the grocery store, A, hungry, which is a no, and then B, without a list. So you're in there and you're just shopping and going on, and you end up spending way more than you need and buying way more than you need or not enough because there was no grocery list. So start with a grocery list and even kind of price out how much you think each thing would be, so then you know how much you are expecting to spend at the store. Okay, so that's one thing that could save money up front. Now, the second thing with time and money. The second thing with time is when it comes to preparing your food. So there's some people out there that like to cook every night, but as for someone like me, I cannot stand cooking throughout the week, and I can't stand cooking more than once. I love to cook, but I only want to do it one good time. So a piece of advice I would give to you is I choose one night a week, maybe a Sunday or a Monday night, and I go ahead and I knock out all my dishes for the week. And I get 4 to 5 dishes out within 3 to 4 hours. And the way I do it is I time what I'm doing, and I do a few dishes at the same time on the stove, in the oven, and a crock pot. But then also I listen to music in the background, so I'm like partying while I'm cooking. Right? Okay, so those are 2 things that can help save time and help you kind of make your meals in a one-stop shop, okay? Now, for anybody out there who does not know really where to start, you have all these cookbooks, but you don't really care for them, go to food blogs. They're excellent, okay? They're my favorite things. They inspire me to do way more than what I think I could do. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of the recipes are kind of simple. So here's some food blogs that I would give to you to check out, and there are plenty of more, hundreds of more out there, okay? So the ones that I love are tastespotting.com. I love foodnetwork.com with some of our favorite stars on there. There's another one called Epicurious, which allows you to name what ingredients you have in your house, and it allows you to it gives you recipes that you can make from there, which is great. And yeah, those are all really good food blogs to kind of look at. And the last one that's familiar to everybody out there is Pinterest. Yes, Pinterest is a place where you can go and you can find recipes. Just type in what you want and it'll pop up because Pinterest is that great. So that's starting with the saving money and saving time. Now let's talk about the health piece, which is the part that I really care about, okay? Now the thing about you preparing your meals in your kitchen allows you to have a lot more control over what you take into your body. Whether it's calories, whether it's cholesterol, whether it's sodium, even some of the really good things like fibers and whole grains. Like those things get a little more complicated, but by you preparing your meals at home, you have a lot more control over keeping things healthy and straightforward in what they were. So for example, let's use broccoli, okay? If you like broccoli with light salt and a little butter or just a squeeze of lemon, that's great, and you're able to control that piece. But if you buy it out at a restaurant, you have very little say over how it comes if it's pre-prepared from the restaurant. You can ask for those things, but 9 times out of 10 it's already done and made, okay? So those are some of the benefits from cooking at home, is that you have more control over what you're actually taking into your body. And the reason why this is big for Americans right now is because there are things out there that are real, okay? You have things like obesity and heart disease that really affect a lot of people, and it comes from the food that we eat, the basic things that we take into our body, and other factors like inactivity, okay? But I really want everybody to really think about when they are eating their food, like what is the long-term kind of health risk that I may put myself at if I'm eating out all the time versus if I'm able to control my dishes and what I put in them at home. Now, I want to put a word of caution out there to my small frame people, okay? Because I know a lot of times we just eat what we want and do whatever you want. But the thing is that, you know, these health risks are just as immediate for you as they are for people that may seem like there are some apparent health risks for them, whether it's overweight or being overweight or things like that. So no matter who you are, what you take into your body is very important, okay? So I wanted to make sure that I made both of those very clear. Now, as for people who may not have an understanding for food, there are a few things out there that can help you understand exactly what you're eating, what you're taking in, both calories, sodium, even the vitamins, right? So here are 3 different websites that I love. Halfway for learning and halfway due to obsession from learning what I'm eating. Okay, so my very first one is MyFitnessPal, which is actually a food journal app that can help you follow what you eat every day if you're interested. Another one is called nutritiondata.com, and you can just type in anything you want and it'll pop up and give you all the nutrition facts, and has like starring systems, so you know like what's really strong in certain areas and what's really weak in certain areas like calories or cholesterol and sodium. Okay, and the very last one is livestrong.com, and that actually has a ton of resources on there for a lot of other information when it comes to health and things like that. So livestrong.com is great. All right, so now we're done with our lesson and figuring out, like, you know, why it's important to prepare meals at home for saving money and time and for health. Now, for my non-cookers, this is where I want you to start. I want you to start with the sandwich, okay? And the reason why I want you to start with the sandwich is because a sandwich is not intimidating. A sandwich you can go to and you're excited about it, you know it, you're confident. But also a sandwich it represents practically the whole food scale. You got your grains, your protein, your vegetables, depending on what you put. You may have some sugar, some fats. And so a sandwich gives you everything that you need. It's affordable, it's easy, and you can throw it together. Okay, and I want us to take our inspiration from the woman who is making 300 sandwiches for her boyfriend to get engaged. You can learn more about her story from HuffingtonPost.com. Okay, so I want all my non-cookers to start with your sandwich and make it excellent. Make your favorite sandwich, put all your favorite things on it, but when you're doing it, start looking up what it is that's on that sandwich. Start understanding the food that you're eating, okay? And then from there, you can move on to more fancier dishes that, allow you to impress people, okay? So I'm hopeful that, starting with your sandwich can lead you to greater dishes and more confidence in the kitchen. But definitely take in consideration beginning to prepare your own meals at home, because it does have an immediate impact on your wallet and your health. So I hope you enjoyed today's show. Please tune in next week where we are talking about, is grad school for you or not for you? That is the question. And we'll be talking about the values of going to grad school versus really thinking about the decision on whether it's right for you right now, later, or never. So tune in next week, and thank you so much. Come on, baby.